Today we've got this huge gaming Nintendo collection sent in by Josh in Kentucky. So there's a lot to get through in this box, but first let's look at some Game Boy classics. All right, look at all these wonderful Game Boy and Game Boy Advance titles. We also have some DS titles sprinkled in. We've got some classic Nintendo games. Look at all those Pokemon games, from the main series title to Pokemon Mystery Dungeon to Pokemon Ranger. And then here at the very end, we have this little wireless adapter. Now what this did is you connected it to your Game Boy Advance, and then if one friend had this Pokemon game and the other, let's say they had Fire Red, you could trade Pokemon and battle without having to use a link cable. Nowadays, we take wireless battling for granted in Pokemon games. And then we've got various other Nintendo titles, like we've got Super Mario Land, we've got Yoshi's Island, Nintendogs, who could forget that classic. And then, for you Kingdom Hearts fans out there was a few Kingdom Hearts games released on handheld device. We have 2 for the Nintendo DS, as well as a Game Boy Advance. Now, this little thing here stands out. We have the Action Replay. So what this did is if you took a Nintendo DS game and you put it in there, and then you put this into a back of a Nintendo DS, you could unlock a lot of cheats, like infinite lives, skipping straight to the final boss, stuff like that. So instead of modding your game nowadays, you could use this nifty little device. Let's move on from the handheld Nintendo stuff into a non-Nintendo handheld. Here we have a PSP. You may have heard of the Nintendo DS, but if you don't play many non-Nintendo handhelds and consoles, you might not recognize that. We have the Wii U. This bad boy walked so the Nintendo Switch could run. You couldn't take this Wii U gamepad anywhere you wanted, but you could hold it in the living room, walk around your house with it, and the Wii U has a lot of really fun games on it. We've got Splatoon, The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, Bayonetta 2, Super Smash Bros. For the Wii U, and Hyrule Warriors. Something that all these games have in common is now that they are all ported to the Nintendo Switch. Moving on, we have a non-Nintendo game. We've got Shadow of the Colossus. I love this game. Highly recommend it. It is such a great title. We've got some random Nintendo Wii games. We've got a Wii U title in there as well. We've got this big stack of GameCube games. The Nintendo GameCube had so many great titles like Paper Mario and the Thousand Year Door. We've got Chibi Robo, which you may have not heard of. Very fun game. Luigi's Mansion. The Legend of Zelda's Collector's Edition. Now you might be like, what is that? In here, it came with The Legend of Zelda, Zelda 2, Ocarina of Time, and Majora's Mask. And this came out before Wind Waker came out, so there was a little demo included on the disc. We've got other GameCube titles, some classic ones, a few random ones in here for you Pokemon fans out there. We've got these 2 Pokemon titles. And then we have a bunch of Nintendo Wii games. This nice stack here. The Wii had a huge library and there was a lot of games. We've got some that you may not have heard of, like My Sims. We've got classics like Super Smash Bros. Brawl, Mario Galaxy. You've got Metroid Other M, a very controversial Metroid title. The Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword. We've got Bully, Super Paper Mario, Twilight Princess. We've got the sequel to Epic Mickey, Sonic Unleashed. All right, look at this really huge collection of mostly Nintendo goodies. So if you have video games that you are interested in selling, such as consoles, handhelds, any game, go to sellmygames.com.